everybody. I'm Greg.
And I'm Katie. Welcome to the Meeple Society. Today we are on episode 88, part 8 of the S's. We're getting there. We're getting there. We played a lot of games this weekend.
Yes, we played a lot of games.
A lot of games this weekend.
We have 2 videos that we have enough games for.
We do. We're a little backed up now. That's okay, though. Good problem to have. All right, before we get started, as always, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon if you want notification of future content.
Or click on the link below. There you'll find links to all of our social media.
Okay.
So we got a lot of sets. We got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
15. We have 15 on this
15 games, and there's 3 different sets of the same type of game.
Yes.
So we will start off with not a set, but this little game here, which I really think you have to say it with a southern accent.
Squirrels.
It's squirrels.
All right, so this is just a little card game. I found it Goodwill. There's still part of a Goodwill sticker on it. The goal of this is you're trying to get sets of identical cards in order to score the points depicted on the cards. Simple as that. Everybody gets a hand of cards. I want to say it was like 7 cards in the beginning. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, I think so.
And you're going through your cards, and I have 8 here, but that's okay. You're trying to make sets out of your cards. And again, I have 8. We'll get rid of that one. So right here, for instance, I have 3 threes. So on my turn, I could lay these 3 threes down, and those later at the end of the game become 3 victory points for me. Well, that's all I've got. So there we go. At the start of your turn, you are drawing a card. If it happens to be an action card, which you cannot start with, if you start with any, you have to discard them and grab new ones. Then you do what the action card is. And then, if you still can, you continue your turn by putting down any sets you might have. And there are a number of different action cards in here. There's Rotten, there's Quarrel, there's Horde, there's Ambush. I thought there was one more, Whirlwind. And then each of these do something different. So you carry out the action on them. Like, for instance, oh, that's right. At the end of your turn, you then have to discard 1 card. Whoop, that's my set. I can't discard that one. You then discard 1 card out of your hand face down into what's called a Horde pile. And then when somebody draws the Horde card, well, that's an amp. Okay. Somebody draws the Horde card, the first person to slap the pile gets every card that's been discarded into that pile. Now comes into their hand. And then on their turn, they can make sets out of whatever's in their hand still. I mean, it was okay. It was... Yeah.
The Horde made it have, what is that, like Crazy 8 almost?
Yeah.
Gives a little crazy. It's like Rhyme with a little bit of Crazy 8 with a little bit of War, because Ambush you stole a card, but the other one, which was it Whirlwind?
I think,
no. Whirlwind, you took everybody's cards, you shuffled them up, and then you passed them back out.
Yep.
What was the other one? Quarrel. That's the war mechanism.
Quarrel is the war mechanism.
It's the person who ever plays the highest card gets the cards.
You play several rounds. I think this game plays in 3 rounds. Each round ends in one of 2 ways.
You set a goal, a
point goal?
That's point right. Score. They recommended 50.
Yeah. Each round ends when the winter card is pulled up. That ends the round. You count up your points, and then you reshuffle for a new round. Again, okay, but nothing spectacular, not worth holding on to for us. So we are going to let this one go.
This one I was interested in playing. I was like, I've never heard of this game. This will be cool to play.
Yeah.
Let's find out. No.
No.
If I want to play Rummy, I'll play Rummy. If I want to play Crazy 8s, I'll play Crazy 8s. And if I want to play War, I'll play War. I don't want them all in the same game.
Squirrels, the card game, is going to leave the collection. All right.
Okay, next we have Spirits of the Wild, which the original version, which is very hard to find.
It is. I found this at a Target when it first came out in California many years ago. I was out there with my brother visiting my mom, and we went into Target because he was looking for a very specific pop for his wife. And we cruised through the board games because, you know, that's what we do.
You're talking about the Funko.
Funko Pop. Okay,
Funko
there you
Pop.
go.
You
Anyway.
said Pop's like on some people call sodas Pop, Coke Pop.
True. Okay, good point. Good point. But anyway, at that point we were looking for good 2-player games, and I thought, what the heck? It was $20, so I grabbed it and brought it home. Oh my goodness, this is probably one of my favorite 2-player games ever. And now it is really hard to find.
Well, they've re-released it But with a lot of differences
but
in
in
it
Europe.
now.
It's not over here.
Oh, that's right. It's only in Europe.
Only in
and
Europe.
Some funky color. It's like they went back to the 80s colors.
I don't understand why everybody's so attracted to those colors, that
I
color
don't know.
scheme. All right, so the way this plays, each player has their player board. Their player board depicts 5 different animals, spirit animal types, and each one wants something different. The main goal of this, or the main focus of this game, is these stones that are coming out into the bowl through card play. And each of these animals wants something different about these stones. For instance, the rabbit wants 3 different colors. Doesn't matter what 3 colors, just 3 different colors. The owl wants 3 sets. So it can be all the same color if you really want to do that, but it has to be 3 different sets of colors. The turtle wants all of one color, whereas the salmon wants all different colors. The beaver, you need a set of 3 and a set of 2. So they're all just slightly different. None of them are specific colors though. So maybe I'll pick up these 2, and since they're the same, I'll go ahead and put them up here in the owl, because that way I know I've got 3 points already, no matter what. So that's how the board works. Each player has a set of cards sitting in front of them. And these are all just kind of laid out on the table.
They're your actions.
And these are your actions. Oh, goes to that set. So you got 6 cards, one of which is just to flip all your cards back over.
Yeah.
You can take a stone, in which case you take 1 stone and you put it on your board somewhere. Doesn't matter where.
Well,
you
it does.
Can,
It
well, it
does.
does. It's up to you as to where.
Right.
You can add 2 stones to the bowl and then take 1. So you would grab the bag and you would add a couple stones to the bowl, and then you would take 1. There's never this many stones actually in the bowl at a time.
Never.
So we'll get rid of some of those. You could potentially just take 2 stones, period. So you take a couple stones and okay, maybe I'll add them to this one because he wants all different colors. So I'm good to go there. As you're doing this though, you're flipping these cards over. Now, this one here, add 3 stones to the bowl. You don't get to take any of them, but you get to move the coyote. The coyote moves back and forth from board to board, and it blocks that section for that player. Mm-hmm. That player can no longer put anything in that section at all. There are also these little clear stones, these little opaque stones. There are 8 of them in the bag. When the 5th one comes out, it immediately ends the game. Nobody gets the rest of their turn. You can't, if your card said to add 2 stones and take 1, and one of those stones was the 5th opaque stone to come out of the bag,
you don't get that stone.
You don't get the stone. Turns over. It immediately ends the game. But what these do, they don't just collect in the bowl. What they do is you put them out on your board over here in this offset one in each one of the character or each one of the spirit animals, and it doubles the score you would receive in that section. However, it also shuts down that section.
Yes.
That section can no longer be added to. It will score at the end of the game, but you can no longer add any more to it. And that adds this tension to the game because you're counting how many of these are out, because it counts what's on people's boards and what's in the bowl. As you are using this card to flip these over, to refresh all of your cards, you're also getting to choose from 2 different spirit animals. One of those spirit animals will let you take everything in the bowl and dump it back in the bag. And then you just pull that many back out. So that's one way to get rid of these opaque stones. It's the only way to get rid of these opaque stones. Yeah, I love this game. Absolutely love it.
I think it has room for an expansion.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because you can get more spirit cards.
Yes.
And you could, like, I don't know whether you really need to do the boards, but maybe you could get the little pieces that could add to it.
Yeah.
For more
to get more
different
animals.
types of scoring and stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, Spirits of the Wild, definitely staying in our collection. Absolutely love this. Love this game. Okay.
Next we got Split Level Aggravation.
Go from one of the smallest to the biggest, huh?
Yep.
Okay. I played this as a kid. Have a box lid. And I'm not going to fully put it together because it takes a second to clip everything together and to get it back apart. But the idea is, let's do the right side here. This sits down here, and then this sits on top of it. And then throughout the game, this spins.
Yeah, depending on where the dial is at.
Right. So you're rolling 2 dice each turn. The white dice tells you how many places you can move. The red dice says what number this has to turn to. If you notice, this has different numbers on the cover here, and the red dice depicts where this turns to. Why that's important is because, like regular aggravation, I'm not going to do that because then I'll have trouble getting it back out. Okay, so we covered regular aggravation way back in the A's. This also plays very much like Sorry. Mm-hmm. It plays very much like Trouble. Mm-hmm. This mechanism...
what's the other game?
Parcheesi?
Parcheesi.
Yes. There are so many games that used this mechanism back in the day. Mm-hmm. So with this one, though, this is how it gets different. Everybody has all of their stuff sitting here in their base. And then on a roll of a 1 or a 6, just like most of these types of games, on a roll of a 1 or a 6, you can move out to your start. And then you can start moving. You cannot hop over yourself, but if you land on somebody else, you can send them back to their start space, back to their base space. In order to get into your home, you have to do it with an exact number. Here's where split level is different, though. When you hit a black location, when you hit one of these black dots, if you still have movement left, you continue your movement to the next level. Now, this does not count it as an actual move, so it'd be, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. And then when you get back over to here, you move back up, and you get to here, and you move back down, and you go around. So you're constantly going up and down. If you rolled, there was one way, what was it? It's bothering you, okay. If you landed directly on the spot, and that was the end of your turn, on your next turn, you could hop. So if I rolled a 5 on my next turn, and actually I would not want to do it there. Maybe I landed right there. And instead of having to go down, actually in this case I'd be coming back up, but whatever. Anyway. I could hop. So say I landed right here. Then my next move would be to here. That'd be 1. And then my next move would be over to here. That would be 2. And then my next move would be over to here to be 3. And I probably would not want to do that because that would put me too far away from my base. So I would stop on the 2 and then continue my movement. 3, 4, 5. Done. So there was just a weird mechanism and allowed you to get around the board faster. But also, I mean, if I'm like right here and suddenly this turns to right here, well, heck yeah, my next move is to move him for sure. Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm almost home. Instead of having to go all the way around the board. Mm-hmm. So this moving, there were times that I caught myself, I'm going to let this guy sit until this is in the right position.
Yeah.
Because why move him if I don't have to?
Yeah, in our gameplay, you were way out in the lead, but I caught up because of this moving.
Yeah, because
you still won.
I did, barely.
But I almost caught up to you and beat you.
Yeah, I won because I rolled a 1 before you could roll a 3.
Yeah.
That is literally the only reason.
Yeah, because it was always just trying to get our last piece in place.
Yeah. Yep. I prefer this one over regular aggravation.
Yeah. And to be honest,
I think it just adds more to it.
When I heard about aggravation, I mixed it up with
Trouble.
No, not Trouble, not Sorry. But I think it's Concentration, the one where it's got all the pieces and you're taking them out and you're trying to get them out before the whole thing blows up in your face.
Oh, yes.
What is that game called? I hate that game.
I don't remember. We got rid of it. We had it. We got rid of it.
Yes, because I didn't like it.
That may have been Concentration.
And I remember it from a childhood, but
yeah,
maybe that's why I hated it. I just had bad memories of it as a childhood.
Maybe. All right, anyway, split level aggravation. This one is going to stay. I suspect, well, actually, I know, the original aggravation, which was published much later than this. This one dates back to like the 50s or 60s, if I'm not mistaken. Split level. This one says 1971. The version of aggravation we have was somewhere in the 2000s.
Right, but aggravation's been around since we were kids.
It has. So. We're going to get rid of that aggravation board, I think, and keep this one. I just like this one better. I think it's just a much more challenging game. There's more strategy involved in this than there ever was in aggravation. So, anyway, split level aggravation sticking around.
Yep. So, since we're on the splits, we'll do this split.
Oh boy.
We have
Okay.
split that, and then we have split this.
Split that. Okay. All right, well, the idea was split. And we played both of these because when we were reading the rules, we realized they actually played totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Same basic concept, but totally different. So everybody starts with so many cards in their hand, and then there is a discard pile out here with cards. The idea is, if you notice, all of these cards are 1/2 of a card. So in order to make a match, you have to be able to match up the other side of the card, basically. So for example, there's 3 different ways you can make matches. There are weak matches, there are strong matches, and there are perfect matches. This is a weak match. Same number, 2 different colors. This is a weak match. I could play this. It's a totally viable play to get 2 cards out of my hand, but it's a weak match. But I could play it. This would be a strong match. This is 2 cards, same number, same
Different
color, different suits. So this is a strong match. Again, I can play this. This would be a perfect match. Same card, same color, same suit. Everything's right. With this particular game, you have your hand of cards. You can lay down any match that you have. So if I were to lay down this match, then great. It gets 2 cards out of my hand. I'm done. At the start of every turn, you're drawing a card. You're making any matches you can, and then you're discarding a card. But you're discarding kind of like rummy style. You're discarding so that everybody can see what's still there. Because as your pickup turn, instead of drawing from the top of the deck, I can pick up from here. But like rummy, you have to pick up everything on top of the card you actually want, and you have to play the card you picked up first. That has to be the very first thing you lay down. So you have to be able to use that card. As you make matches with this one, you get bonuses. With a weak match, I can trade something with the other player. I can trade one of my matches with the other player. As you are playing, a viable option is to upgrade somebody's match. So for example, maybe I had this weak match out and Greg had the 3 of spades. He could make me take this back into my hand and play the 3 of clubs there, or 3 of spades there. It gives him a strong match, which allows him to draw a card off the top of the deck, but it also gets 1 card out of his hand and puts a card back in mine. The goal of this is to get rid of all the cards in your hand, just like rummy. Later on, if he came up with the 3 of clubs, or I came up with the 3 of clubs, I could again upgrade this to be a perfect match. Well, now that it's a perfect match, nobody can touch it. It's done. But a perfect match's bonus makes you have to give one other player a negative score on their score pad. Everybody has their own score pad. And this part of it reminds me a little bit of, oh my gosh, the Can't Stop rolling game.
Can't Stop Express.
Yeah,
which
Can't
I
Stop
hate.
Express. So if somebody makes a perfect match, then all the other players have to cross off their first negative box. At the end of the round, everybody looks at all the matches in front of them. Perfect, weak, it doesn't matter. All you're looking at now is the numbers, and you're crossing off the first line of that number. So for this set of 3s, I would X out this 0, which means at the end of the game, I'm going to at least score 10 points because that's the first unmarked space on the score pad. I liked it. It was fine. However, with that same concept in mind, this one has the exact same mechanism of having to make matches. However, this one has a board. And on this one, as you are making matches, you're getting to interact with the board. Now, the cards are set up all along the edge of the board like this. So the matches you're trying to make are not with what's in your hand, but you're trying to, and you have another set over here, but you're trying to match what's on the board here. So if I have a set of cards in my hand and, okay, so I have a 5 of clubs. I have a perfect match. Well, perfect match, here on the board tells me that I can remove one of somebody else's discs on the board, which, let me come back to that, and then place 2 of my own. So each player has a set of discs. As they make matches, then they get to play stuff out. If you make a weak match, which is again, same card number, 2 different colors, then you get to put out one on the board
on one
of the
those
style.
2.
Right. So
you pick which one you want to use.
I'm looking to see if I have anything. Here we go.
Here's a king.
Here's a red king. Weak match. These cards stay out. So let me take this back for a second. This is a weak match. I get to place 1. I have to place it on either the diamond or the club. So I'm going to place it out here on the club. The goal, I should say, is for one player to get from this side of the board to this side of the board, and the other player to get from this side to this side. With a full line, no diagonal, all orthogonal placements. You can't, they don't connect diagonally, let's put it that way. You have to have the orthogonal connection. If later on somebody can come through and make a strong one, which would be, I'm looking for another king. So say then I could come back later and make this a strong match, because now I have 2 kings of just 2 different suits, both red. Then I can place 2 out on the board according to my cheat sheet here. So I can place 2, but they have to be on a diamond and on a heart. So maybe later on I come up with a king of diamonds, and I can lay the king of diamonds here. Now mind you, there's several cards here now. I can lay the king of diamonds with the other king of diamonds. That's a perfect match. Or maybe Greg did it. We'll just say Greg did that to me. Because then he can come along without knowing what's underneath here. He can pull any one of mine off the board and give it back to me, and then he gets to place 2 of his own out. So then but it has to be both on diamonds. So he may not be able to, oh, actually there's 2 diamonds right there, side by side, perfect. That's essentially the game. You're removing other people's that are in your way so that you can get through to the other side of the board. Simple as that. It's actually a really neat game. We very much enjoyed this.
Yeah, we like this one a lot better than we did the other one.
So matches actually stay out here until you get the perfect match. And at that point, all those cards go away. A new card is drawn from the top of the deck to replace it. And then you continue on like that. I really liked this one. I just thought it was fun. It gave me a little bit of that, oh, what is the name of that card game where you're putting the, oops, that's the wrong color in there. Sequence, yes, thank you. It gave me a little bit of that sequence feel, but with a little more strategy involved.
There was a couple other games we've played throughout this thing that had where you're putting, I think it was marbles or chips. You're putting across trying to make a path to get to someplace else.
Long story short, we are going to... Did you seriously pull that up to look again?
No.
Okay, all right. Long story short, we're going to hold on to this one. I just really liked what this one did. This one felt too much like Rummy to us.
And the scoring felt like a game that I just don't like.
Well, it felt like, and the scoring didn't even bother me so much. But it was too much like Rummy. And we don't need both of these. And I enjoyed this one way more. So we're going to hold on to this copy. We're going to get rid of this copy. All right, next.
The things you have to play. Because somebody had a Goodwill addiction.
Yeah. I like the spinner in this one, though.
The spinner was annoying.
Why?
It was annoying.
It was one of the best spinners I've ever seen.
No.
Okay, so here's your board.
Life has the best spinner.
Well, okay, that's true. Here's your board. The castle is your board. This sits here. I love the way that spins. Each player takes 1 Disney princess.
How many times did I flip that up
I
and
know.
off of that thing?
Well, that's because when it gets full, each player has a Disney princess, and they start
on their castle.
On their castle. Yeah. Oh, yeah. She starts over there. Anyway, in the center, in here.
Oh, they start on the gates.
Oh, that's right. They start on their gates.
Yes,
You're right. I was going to say, I knew something was off there. Okay, so everybody starts on their gates. Each player has their little pieces that match the symbol on their And then each player also has pieces from their movie, whatever it may be. So these are all put together and put inside the little spinning wheel. And I'm not matching everything up perfectly, but you know, it is what it is. And everybody puts them out randomly. On your turn, you're rolling the dice and moving, actually this is a full six-sider. It's just a specialty six-sider. You're moving that many spaces.
It's a glitter six-sider.
Yeah. You're moving that many spaces around the outside of the board. So there are a couple spaces where if you land, you lose your turn. There's one space that lets you, there's a couple spaces actually that lets you just roll again, take another turn. There are wish spaces. Wish spaces allowed you to spin. And you would spin the spinner, and you could take any one piece that landed fully inside of your color. So you see how there's this yellow and there's purple here and pink and blue. Any one piece, whether it was your piece or not, that landed fully inside of your color, you could take and put over here. If it's not your piece, then when you land on these spaces, you can trade for your piece with somebody else. And this space allowed you to trade around. Once you got all of them, then you could move into the center section. Or no, you had to get to your gate, to a gate, and go into the center section. So there's 4 little gifts, one sitting on each of the 4 towers. And as you're moving around, when you get to a space, that one of the tower spaces, which was any of these 3 spaces near the tower, you could look at the gift on that tower. If it was not yours, you put it down unseen by anybody else, and you continue on your next turn. The next person takes their turn. But if it was yours, and this one is not Cinderella's, if it was yours, then you automatically win the game. Done, game's over. It's geared toward 4-year-olds. I get that. It's
and
a
girls.
cute game. Amen. Geared toward 4-year-old girls. It's a cute game for 4-year-old little girls.
I mean, if you're really into princesses and you're a guy, so be it.
Sure.
But
We're going to let this one go. It's basically a spin and move. There's no strategy involved. There's no teaching moments in this one. It's just not the type of game we're wanting to build that collection from. We're allowing ourselves so few kids games. This one doesn't make the cut. But anyway, that is Disney's Spinning Wishes game. Find the Prince's Hidden Gift. Yeah, it's going to leave the collection.
now we have Spooky Castle.
I have been curious about this one because it's a Queen game. It's also geared toward children.
Oh, this one. We've played so many games here lately.
We have played a lot of games this
we're
weekend.
talking about now.
I'm surprised you forgot this one. See, it had the little mask.
It has the little mask that you got to wear when
You got to wear when you do it. Yep.
And you can't wear glasses with it.
No, not recommended. Okay, so how this plays, you've got a number of... So goofy, I swear. All right.
You can't put your glasses back on. Yes, I can.
All right, so you've got a number of these little things sitting around, blocking spots of the board. There's 3 more underneath. And then you've also got these, metal chips that are laying around. There are a bunch of ghosts and there are a bunch of icons. And the ghosts go onto the ghost symbols here. And then the treasure pieces go onto the yellow circles around the board. And the goal with this is that you have to direct, this is cooperative, everybody playing has to direct whoever the ghost is to get the pieces that are required for that round and get out without picking up ghosts, because ghosts end up blocking your path. There are different cards. There's a whole bunch of these, and depending on the difficulty you choose for the game depends on how many of these you pull out. But these tell you what you need to find. And it's as simple as, well, how about that? These 2 pieces are right out here. It's as simple as giving the ghost the piece and then directing him where to go. He starts, that's the piece. So here's a start space. He has to get to a piece and then get back to home base so we can remove the piece. So he's going forward, he's going forward, he's going to your left, to your left, to your left. Pick up your thing. Pick up, there you go. Now back, come back toward me, go back toward you, back toward you, back toward you. There you go. He's in home base. I can remove this set of keys and put it on here and then direct him to the second piece. Just go straight forward, like all the way forward, all the way, all the way, all the way. Oh, oh, you got it. Just pick it up. There you go, done. And yeah, you can come all the way back. Oh, you just grabbed a ghost. That's okay. If you grab a ghost, you can't grab anything else. The ghost blocks your path. Basically, you have to bring him back here to one of the home bases, have somebody take him off, and at that point, you have to put him, you take the ghost out of the round. On each side of the board, I can't believe you're still wearing that thing. On each side of the board, these little tokens are laying out. When ghosts are picked up, whichever exit we directed the ghost to discard this before he went back after the treasure he needed, goes onto one of these. This gets flipped over upside down, so now it's used, and the ghost goes on top of it. At the end of the round, when you are resetting, the ghosts all go back out. So you always start the round out with 8 ghosts on the board, no matter what. But this card is used. You only have so many of these depending on your difficulty. If you run out, you automatically lose the game. So you can't pick up too many. The goal is to get through your stack without losing to these. And then to throw a kink into it all, there's a timer involved. Depending on your difficulty, you set the egg timer. So this thing is ticking in the background the whole time. You can take that off now, honey. It's a cute little game. We actually very much enjoyed this one. It is geared toward kids. This is what, ages 6 and up. But we had a good time with it. We are going to hold on to this one. Oop, I forgot a ghost. We are going to hold on to this one. I think it gives that cooperation, especially for young children. It gives that listening to direction, all sorts of lessons to be had in this one, and I really liked that. All right, there we go. That is Spooky Castle. We're going to hold on to it. It's a good one. I enjoyed this one. All right.
Next, we have Spinning Monkeys. Yeah.
Spin Monkeys.
Spin Monkeys.
I was not sure what to expect out of this one, but it was a real grand game. Found it at Goodwill. Thought, what the heck, we'll give it a shot. This actually plays 2 to 8 players. I could not imagine how crowded this board would be at 8 players. This would be hysterical. So the way this one plays, there are a number of different fruits, and you are putting those fruits out on the board, face up.
In the little circles.
In the little circles, yes.
Depending on the color.
On the right colors. So you're doing that all over the board. And then you've got bananas, and you've got apples in the red. So each player has
a bumper card.
A bumper card. Everybody starts in one of the blue circles around the side of the board. You choose where you're starting, and you always start with pointing a specific direction. Now, each one of these bumper cars has different degree marks on the sides of them. We were halfway through the game before I realized how easy it was to rely on those degree marks. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd been playing it that way the entire game.
I know you had.
Like, what? It's like,
I was trying to count.
On the freaking tile.
I was trying to count on the card how many yeah, never mind. Whatever. So everybody starts with 5 cards in their hand. On your turn, well, let me rephrase that. At the start of the round, each player is choosing 1 card out of their hand and laying it face down. I have no idea that one would not work at the start of the game. We'll do that one.
No.
No. So you're laying it down, face down. Once everybody's chosen what they're doing, you put the card out. Everybody flips it over. And then first player is determined by whoever played the highest number. On your turn, you follow the degree on your card. So this tells me I'm going 90 degrees. So I would look at my little bumper car and follow the 90-degree angle. Shush. Always turning clockwise, but I would turn to the 90-degree angle. And then I would just start traveling based on how many cards I have down. So if, say, these were here, this is my very first card, I get to move 1 space. So I would move to here I would gather this apple and put it face down in front of me. These are all victory points at the end of the game. But on my next turn, maybe this was the second round of the game. I now have 2 cards in front of me. This is my second card I'm playing. Then I would get to go 2 spaces, and I would get this orange as well. It seems simple enough, right? You play a card, so maybe on my next turn I'm going to play a 180, so I can completely turn around the other direction and start coming back this direction and pick up stuff. However, when you hit the edge of the board and you can't go any further, and you still have actions left, now you have to stop and you have to spend cards in order to turn. So if I hit right here, and maybe I had 5 cards in front of me, because you don't pick these cards up ever unless you hit the edge of the board and you have to spend them to move. These are your speed. So the faster you can go in a straight line or without getting bumped into, the faster you go. The longer you can go without getting bumped into, the
more
faster
cards you
go.
have, the farther you go.
Right. So maybe I had 4 cards down and I hit the edge of the board. Then I'm going to move this up here so hopefully you can see it. So maybe I hit the edge of the board here, right there. And
raise it up so they can
there you
actually
go.
see it.
Everything slides. And I still had 2 movements left. Then I would have to spend a card to turn, spend a second card to turn, which means I get rid of these first 2 cards. I'm left with only 2 cards for my next turn, plus whatever I'm going to be playing. So on my next turn, I can go this way, because that's the direction I'm pointing, hopefully. Depends on what I play. If I play a 315, nope, that's not going to work. But maybe that's all I had left. Well, 315 means I'm going this way and I'm hitting that wall again. But that's only 1 action. I get 3. So I can turn 1, get rid of a card. 1, 2. Done. So there's a lot of movement. There is literally rules for bumping into each other. Because if you bump into somebody, that you stop and that person carries out the rest of your movement.
Yeah.
It was cute.
And there's cards with powers on them.
There are cards with secret powers on them that when you play them, you get to do special things. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was a little confusing until we wrapped our heads around exactly how the movement worked. But once we wrapped our head around that movement, it wasn't too bad.
I understood the degrees on the tile right off the bat.
And I was counting the spaces on the card. I didn't even pay attention to the degrees on the thing. Yeah. I saw they were there. I never put 2 and 2 together that you could use them for direction. Anyway, I thought it was a fun game. It plays a lot of players, and it's not your typical party game. So we are definitely going to hold on to it. I think it'll be fun with more players. But yeah, that is Spin Monkeys by Rio Grande. Sticking around.
Next we have Spotted. And we have the ABC Spotted as well.
Yes.
That's the original.
Yes. These 2 play identical.
This just has letters and shapes.
Yes. It just has letters and colors and stuff on it now instead of whatnot. And I did not realize in this rule book, there's like 4 different ways to play this. There's 5 different ways. There is the tower, which is what we always played. The well, where everybody has okay, so the tower, basics with this game, let me start there, is you are trying to match the card in front of you.
Yeah, everybody started with a card.
Right. With the card that's on the top of the deck. And the first person who can identify 2 matching symbols gets the card. Simple as that.
Yeah, you gotta yell it out.
Yes. Like this one, I don't even have a match on this one. You're supposed to be able to always find a match. You got 2 suns.
Oh, yeah.
So he would say sun and grab that card. And this would be turned over so you can actually see them. And then I would say raindrop.
Yeah. I touched it, but she yelled it first,
Yep.
so she would get it.
I got the man.
Okay.
So that's the basic way the tower plays. That's the
got the
standard
bottle.
way of play.
I got the bottle.
The only 2 I read, because after a while I just like, okay, we're not going to play all these different versions. The other way to play is you have the well. You split the cards between everybody playing. You have 1 card in the center, and everybody's trying to match their card to get rid of it. It's that simple. And
I got a cat.
Okay, there you go. I have still nothing. Oh, nope, I got the clock. I got the bottle. I got the bottle again. I got nothing. There's got to be something. Okay, well, I don't know what you do if there's nothing. I'm sure it's here in the rules. So, yep, there you go.
I got a cactus.
Okay, there you go. Those are the two main ways to play, and those same ways exist in that one too. It's a cute kids game. We're going to hold on to regular Spot It, keep it in the travel collection. This one I actually already have a home for.
Yep.
One of the girls at work, her grandson is 4 years old, and I think this would be perfect for him.
That one's for 3 and up.
Yeah, I think Liam would love this. So, it's already got a home. This is staying. All right. Next.
Okay, so our other set, we have Splendor Duel, Splendor Marble, and Splendor.
Base Splendor, because from there, the rest are pretty simple to explain. Base.
Well, Duel's different.
Duel is different, but still same basic concept.
Same basic concept, yes.
So, and we've got a lot of expansions in this one. The way this one plays, you are basically trying to make matches to purchase cards. And those cards are later used to purchase more cards. So the game starts with 3 different sets of cards out, and you've got so many out of each kind, varying in complexity on how to buy. You have, depending on player count, you have so many tokens out of each color. And then on your turn, you can do one of 2 things. Well, you can do one of 3 things. Let me rephrase that. You can, let me have this. You can pick up tokens of a specific color. So I can pick up any 3 tokens I wish. Maybe I'm going to pick up, oh, I don't have any 1s out. I was going to say, why is there nothing out there I can get? That's because I don't have any 1s out. So there we go. So you can pick up 3 different colors. So maybe I'm going to pick up these 3. A blue, a black, and a white. Okay, so those are sitting here in front of me. Then Greg would take his turn, I would take my turn. So you can do, like I said, you can do one of 2 things. Pick up gems, or you can purchase a card. So maybe on my next turn, I picked up a black and a green and a white, a green, and maybe another blue. And I have these in front of me. On my 3rd turn, now's where it starts to get interesting, because you can only have 10 gems in front of you at a time. Anything over 10, you have to discard down. You can spend your gems. So for instance, this card here requires 2 whites, 1 blue, 1 green, 1 black. Maybe I want this red gem, although this one would be a whole lot less expensive, and I have the stuff for it. So I'm going to take this red gem instead, because this one just requires my 2 blue gems and my 1 green gem. And this card gets laid in front of me. This now belongs to me.
It's a permanent red gem.
And from now on, well, those would actually not go back in here. They'd come back out where everybody could get them. But from now on, every time I need a red gem, I don't have to spend tokens for it. I've got a permanent one. Now, if it required
multiple
2,
reds,
then yes, I would spend my 1 token, but this card acts as my second one. The goal is to get to 15 points. A lot of these have victory points on them. So you're trying to get to 15 points with that, or with your nobles. Your nobles all require that you have so many cards. For instance, this noble requires that I have 4 black cards and 4 white cards. So I would need to get 4 cards with the black gem on it, or and 4 cards with the white gem on it. As people are taking cards, you're putting more cards out. They're constantly rotating. I've always liked this one. I really have. This has always been one of my favorite games. Now, this one does have a lot of expansions to it, and they're all here in this box.
We're not going to talk about those.
No, I'm not going to talk about them, mostly because we've only played them once.
And it's been a while.
And to me, I prefer just the base game. They really, to me, didn't do much for the game. Okay, so this one, thank you. Same thing. You've got all sorts of gems that move around the box every time you lift it up. All sorts of gems. This time you got an extra color. I didn't even go into the yellow. The 3rd option you have on your turn with base game is to reserve a card and take a gold. Now in here, gold is actually one of the colors, but in this one, it's a wild. In this game, your shield logo is the wild. But you would take a gold gem from this one along with any one card off of the the display, and you reserve it so only you can build it now. And that gold is wild. It can act as any other color gem. In this one, same concept, only your wilds are the shield agents. You still have all these cards laid out. Each of these cards depict a different character in the Marvel Universe. Actually, I think these are all the cartoon universe, although, yeah, it's all cartoon stuff. But the basis of this whole game is to go after the Infinity Gauntlet. To win the game, this states that, and this is basically your winning condition. You have to have one card depicting each of the 5 gems and then a time stone token, plus 16 points. You get your points just like in the other game. You get your points mostly from the cards as well as from the locations, which you can get by having so many of a specific color card. When you get to this upper level, all of the upper level cards, all of the level 3 cards have this time stone icon on it. When you get one of these cards, you automatically get one of the time stone gems, and this one stays in your set. If I'm not mistaken, it counts toward your 10 though, but you can't spend it on anything because the only way to get it is to get one of these cards. Now, mind you, by the time you start getting these cards, you're probably pretty close to winning the game anyway. Matter of fact, my very last card was to get this card.
I say a lot of times, though, by the time you get up that high, you don't even need the Infinity Stones anymore.
No, you don't.
You've got enough cards to get what you need.
That's true. Other than that, it plays exactly the same. You just have to have that one special gem and one extra point. And you have to have one of every card. Whereas in the base game, you don't have to have one of every card. You just have to have 15 points. This one requires you have the 16 points, all cards, plus the gem, the one special gem.
Because you're getting the gauntlet, so you have to have all the Infinity Stones.
It makes total sense. Okay, last one is Splendor Duel. Splendor Duel completely plays differently. It is set up for 2 players. This is your board. Start of the game, one person basically pulls all the gems out of the bag and starts putting them out on the board, round robin like
following the arrow lines.
Following the arrows. And normally you would pull them out one at a time, but in the interest of time.
And it adds the pearl.
It adds the pearl. You still have the gold.
And all the other
and the gold
gems.
acts pretty much the same as it did in the base game, honestly. So you have all of these out like so. You also have your cards out just like you would in the base game, much smaller version of them, of course. And you have your stack with your 4 out like you would that are available for purchase. And you have the 2s and the 3s as well. So here's the biggest difference in this one. This one has multiple winning conditions. So you can win by garnering 20 points between all of the cards you pick up, or by having 10 of the crown symbols, which show up on some of the higher cards. You can have 10 crown symbols on your cards. Or you can get 10 points, whereas this one is 20 points. You can get 10 points all in the same color row. That's this icon. Okay, so the basis of this game, you have a couple of choices on your turn. You can take gems, just like in the base game. You can buy a card, just like in the base game. You can reserve a card, just like in the base game. Here's the difference, though. Instead of choosing the 3 colors you want, because all of them are laid out here on the board, you pick a row of 3, diagonally, vertically, or horizontally. You pick a row of 3. The only rule is you cannot grab a yellow. You cannot grab the gold, because the gold, just like in the base game, is used to reserve a card. You grab a gold, you grab 1 card, those are yours. This can be used as a wild for anything, though it doesn't necessarily have to be used to purchase this card. So it can be used as a wild. That's one of your options. The other option is, like I said, to grab any 3. It can include the pearl cards, so maybe I'm going to grab these 3, or maybe I'm going to grab these 3. However I want to do it, I grab 3 tokens off the board. So I'm just going to say they have to be connected. Yeah, they have to be connected in some fashion. So looking at this card, maybe I'm going to do, no, I'm going to do these. I'm going to take these 2 greens and this pearl. with the idea that I'm going to try to go after this card. I may or may not get it, but I'm going to try. So I would do that. And then Greg would take his turn. These little guys are given out if somebody takes 2 pearls in one turn. So if that pearl had been right there and I had taken these 2 in one turn, then my opponent would have gotten one of these. But it wasn't.
And the second player starts with one of these.
Second player starts with one of those, yes. The person who refills the bag, one of your options is to refill the bag on your turn and then choose from all the new ones.
And then the other player gets a scroll.
And then the other player gets a scroll. Or if you take 3 of the same color, which I have never seen happen, but I guess it would be possible. If you take all of one color from the board, your opponent gets a scroll. The scrolls are used at the start of your turn. It's a bonus action. You just get to pick any one token off the board, anything but gold. It's the only rule. You can't grab a gold. Greg would take his turn. I would take my next turn. Maybe I got lucky and he didn't take one of these blues, so I'm going to take these 3 blues. Now, on my next turn, I have enough to trade in for this one. I would trade in the 2 blues, the 2 greens, and the pearl. All of these would go back in the bag for the next person who wants to refill the board, and this card would go in front of me. I now have a permanent white I can use to buy other cards with.
And then an extra action, it says on there.
Yes, some of these actually have an extra action on the bottom of them. This particular one means that I can just take another turn.
Yep.
So I would pull more tiles off the board, whatever I wanted to do. There are ways of, oh
Getting
my gosh.
another gem.
You can just pick a gem straight, a blue gem. You
Yes.
pick a blue gem straight off the board because it has to be the color of the card. These are wild. They act as, when you pull this up, you can put it into a row with any other card that has a bonus icon on it, and it becomes that color. So this wild card automatically becomes an extra white. And it's worth a point. All sorts of different things like that. So, I mean, it's a neat game. I will give it that. But that's basically how this one plays. You play to 20 points, or till somebody gets 10 crowns, or till somebody has 10 points in one color.
Yep. Which I've never seen happen
I have
yet.
never
but
seen
we've
that
only
happen.
played this twice.
That's true. All right, so between the 3, we're going to keep all 3.
Yeah,
Spoilers.
I
We
like
are
all
going to
3.
keep all 3. I prefer base game over any of them, personally.
Yeah.
I've always loved the simplicity of the base game.
I don't know if I like the expansions.
I don't know that I like the expansions either. I'm going to have to play them again. We have the insert that holds them, so it'd be silly to get rid of them at this
Yes.
point. I don't really honestly even know if we have the boxes still for them.
Oh,
But-
I'm sure they're behind games someplace.
They probably are. This one, to me, Marvel felt a little more convoluted with just, I don't know, just the artwork didn't, I don't care for the artwork.
This is the game
It's
you thought you were
cartoons.
behind by throughout
I
the entire
did.
game, but then you ended up winning
I
it.
did win by 1 point,
By
which
1
I
point.
still don't know how that happened. I really don't. But I did win this one by 1 point, only because you started the game, so I got an extra turn. And on that last turn, I managed to pull out a 5-point card. But anyway, this one, this is going to take more plays. I'm not a big fan of this one.
I like that.
I know you do, and you've beat me both times at it, quite handedly.
Mm-hmm.
I have always had a rough time with this one. In the 2 plays we've had, this one's going to take a lot more plays for me to find the finesse of it. But I know it's very highly regarded, so I know it's good.
Now we just need
It's not hitting with me.
the Pokemon one that's not in the United States yet
No,
to finish off the whole supply, the whole thing. We
don't need that.
completionists again.
no. Anyway, we are going to hold on to all 3 of these. We actually have a copy of this over in the travel collection as well. I just think it's a great evergreen game. It's got
And a lot of new people getting in the game are just finding this and
Yeah,
just
I
raving
love
about
that
it
game.
again.
Yeah.
You're seeing a lot of people talking
Yeah.
about it again that are new
It's-
to the hobby.
It is such a good game. It really is. Okay. Let me,
Hey, next we have Spring Meadow.
okay. This is not one of your favorites. I know.
No, out of the 3
I
that's
like
like
it.
this is the one I least like.
Okay, so this is part of a series. This is actually number 3 of this series from Uwe Rosenberg. And we do have all 3. We've talked about the other 2 already.
Indian Summer
and Cottage Garden.
Cottage Garden. Cottage Garden is the one that I like the best.
And I think I like this one the best, but I
This
don't
one,
know.
I thought
This
you were
one,
thinking
well,
about Indian Summer, but maybe not.
I don't
This
know.
is the one I hate the most.
I like.
Or I'm not.
I like
I'm
this
sorry. I
one.
shouldn't say hate. Dislike the most.
Okay. I like this one and Indian Summer best. I think it's because it has more of that overarching polyomino feel to me, whereas
And
I don't feel like the other one
polyomino
does.
games really.
And that explains a lot.
Anyway, there's a
All
few
right.
that I really like, but yeah, most of the time, yeah, I
I
do not
can't
like
get
polyomino
a board
games.
out here. Here we go. All right, so everybody has their player board. And you can put the board whichever way you want, but you are building from the green up. Essentially, it is
Swear,
the
every ti-
snow melting.
Every time I see that board, it's like that sign was shot up by a shotgun.
It
or
does
something.
look like that, doesn't it?
Like it got hit
They're
with
marmot
buckshot.
holes. So the game starts out with all of these polyomino tiles on the board, all the way around the board, like so. And you have a little hiker in here, a signpost, basically, that moves around the board depicting which row or column you are looking at. And on your turn, you are taking, so if it starts, actually it starts right here. On my turn, the first player would start over here on the corner and would have access to this row of tiles. So you would pick one and you would put it on your board somewhere, wherever you wish to put it. And then the next player would move to here and they would have access to this row. And then the next player would move to here and have access to this, as I shove them all back in the box, have access to this row, etc. As you are moving around the board, you move up here. Now it's this one. There are a couple of games that do that type of movement stuff. So you're grabbing tiles, you're putting them on your board. The goal being you want to try to, well, not the goal necessarily, but you want to try to either not cover these holes, leave the holes empty, but more or less you want to keep them empty that way, because now they score points for you at the end of the game, or actually at the end of each round. The first player to win 2 rounds wins the game.
Yep.
At the end of each round, and the round ends when any one row or column, when somebody gets to it, only has 1 tile or no tiles left in it. Now in a 2-player game, it's supposed to have 2 tiles in that. We did not catch that 2-player rule until halfway through the game yesterday, so, or whatever we played it 2 days ago. So we just went by the normal rule of 1 tile per. When that happens, everybody stops and scores their board. That player does not get a turn just yet. They will get their turn, but not yet. That player gets a bonus 2-point tile that they get to use for scoring for that round. Everybody scores their board. You score the completed rows, 10 points per completed row on your board, and then a point for each marmot circle that is left open that you can still see the holes through. And then you score 1 point. The next row you have up, not completed, you score 1 point per section filled in that row. So you want to try to build them consecutively all the way up. Keep them even, because that signifies, again, the snow melting and the meadow being exposed. Whoever has the most points gets the point token for that round. And then you go on and play another round. Whoever's turn it was refills the board and then takes their turn. They take their tile. And then we continue on until, again, only one row, that somebody comes across a row with only 1 tile left in it. I've always liked this one, but I know you do not. I think what we've decided to do with this one, because I have so many polyomino games, this one will probably never come off the shelf again.
I'll show you the one thing I like about this game.
What?
In a 2-player game,
Yeah.
you can always tell when you go.
Yeah.
Because the first player goes on the odds and the second player goes on the evens.
Yes.
If you're playing a 4-player game, you're looking for your number on the dots on the sides of the board.
Yeah.
That is the only part of this game I really like.
Yes. Because in a 3-player game, this side's solo or 3 because it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
So I do like, and in a 3-player game, you actually go diagonally.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that was ingenious.
Yes.
So you keep track of exactly.
Yeah, I thought
whose
that was
turn it
cool,
is.
but it's really
Who's
the only
next?
thing I
Oh.
liked about the game.
Yeah, that I do like that design feature. We've decided we're going to probably move this entire set over to the travel collection. I think it's still a good set.
Mm-hmm.
Each of us enjoys some of them, but not all of them. So we're going to move it over to the travel collection. It'll still be in the house. We'll know where it is if somebody wants to play it, but it'll free up some space in this room. So, but that is Spring Meadow by Uwe Rosenberg, and it is going to shift positions.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And finally, we have Spirit Island. This is Catan in reverse.
Pretty much, yeah. I don't even know where to start on this guy. This one's a doozy.
You're playing the Spirit.
You are. This is a cooperative game. We played this recently with Doug and Mary.
From Coopple Nerds.
Yes, thank you. From Coopple Nerds, who needed to play it for one of their series also. So it worked out really well that it fell into line for both of us at the same time. Depending on your number of players, you take out so many player boards and they fit together like that. There we go. They all do fit together eventually. So they fit together like so or like so, however you want to do it. Each of these indicate a province of some sort.
Each player has a spirit.
Each player has a spirit board, and all the spirit boards are slightly different. There goes the purple player. Each of the spirit boards are slightly different, but it gives you a little bit of background on the back, and then all of your point stuff on the front. Now,
And the color you will be playing.
yes.
No, it doesn't.
Well, no, you just pick whatever color you want. But you start off with with tokens filling all of these in, or all but the first ones. And then throughout the game, you are playing cards and doing various actions in order to remove these tokens and get them out onto the board. The tokens represent presence on the board. I knew these were double-sided. We've never played with this side though, because I feel like this side is just much easier to read. So as the game progresses, the game starts with so many of the Dahan on the board. The Dahan are considered the local tribes, the indigenous people. And then throughout the game, the settlers, the colonists, are trying to settle the land. And as the spirits, you are trying to prevent that from happening. You're trying to scare them off. Everybody has a deck of cards. Everybody starts off with so many cards and specialized to them. The rule book gives recommendations for what cards to put into your specialized deck, and we did go by that because Doug and Mary had never played it. You're playing cards out for your actions, and throughout the game you are slowly adding cards to your hand and to your deck that you have access to. The cards have different icons on them that tell you whether or not they activate slowly or quickly, and what the range is. Like this one activates slowly, but with a range of 2. So I can affect any spot 2 spaces away from where I have presence. But I don't go till after the colonists do. That may or may not be good. Then there's some that activate quickly, and it can affect any location. I don't want to go into a ton of detail on this one because it could be quite extensive, and I know I'm already running long, and we've run really long on the last 3 videos now. So, in an effort to keep this one under an hour, as a spirit, you are trying to help the local indigenous people keep the land. They are slowly being pushed back by the colonists. And the goal of the game, there's fear cards that come out, and as the game progresses, your win conditions actually get a little easier. In the first phase of the game, you have to clear the colonists completely. By the second phase of the game, that may not be possible.
No.
You just have to clear all the cities and villages, so that all that are left maybe are some stray colonists that can be sucked, they join the local tribes. I don't know. By the third round, you no longer have to get rid of the small villages. You just have to get rid of the big cities.
Yeah.
But there are
cards that we're trying to work through.
Yes,
too.
you've got to get through the fear cards, and all this has to happen by the time that does. There's a lot going on.
Yes.
I like this game. We don't play it very often because it is so intense.
And very complicated.
It is very complex. It's a good game. Don't get me wrong. I like the game. It is hard to win.
Yes, it is.
We have not won very many of these. I don't think we've ever won a 2-player. We did finally win. I think we won with Doug and Mary. But I would like to dig into this one more and really learn some of the strategies. I think it's a fantastic cooperative game. It is not one of those cooperatives that really allows quarterbacking because everybody has their own cards and their own things they have to do. You can talk as a group in terms of, hey, what can you do this round? I'm going to probably be acting very slowly, and I can take care of this side of the board. Don't worry about this side.
I've got some fast cards that I can bring out right now, but I don't have anything that's going to go slow.
Yeah, I think my last one, I had one card that allowed two other players to take one of their slow abilities and make it a fast ability.
Yeah.
And that card, oh my gosh, I used it constantly. Every chance I got, I used it.
I've only played the stone guy.
Really?
I think it's the only.
I
might have played the water
spirit
guy. But the stone guy, almost all of, but probably 90% of his powers are all slow. They go slow, but he has some cards to make his slow cards go fast. Yeah.
I think I had an ability that
or
allowed
maybe
you
it
to make
was
slow
one of the other
fast.
players has cards that makes other players slow.
Yeah, I
cards
had
to
that.
Go advanced. Yeah,
I
maybe
had
that's
that
the
on
way
this
I was
last round.
being able to go fast with some of my cards.
Yeah, I had that card this last game, and I think it really helped us because it allowed us to get a jump start on
and
the
some of the characters combo together really well.
Do.
They allow the other player to get a more powerful slow action out really fast before anything else can happen.
Yeah. I would like to play this one some more and really spend some time digging into it, play through some of this
Once
stuff.
we get through this series.
We're getting there. Hey, I looked this morning. We have 379 games left to go. That's it. That's all the T's. The rest of the S's, the T's.
It's like 4 more years.
Whatever. Anyway, that is Spirit Island. We are going to keep it and hopefully dig into it some more. That's it. That's it for this episode. I have no idea if we kept it under an hour or not. I did not look at the time we started. So anyway, 4 more S videos to go. 4 more S videos to go.
So, until then, we'll see you at the next one.